Your partner is resolutely committed to salvaging this relationship, driven by an unwavering determination to make things right. Their heart refuses to give up, even when circumstances have made the road ahead difficult. Deep down, they still believe in what you share. They are not ready to walk away or let go. Instead, they are fueled by a relentless desire to rebuild, to heal, and to create a lasting love with you. To them, this relationship is not something fleeting or replaceable. It is something rare, meaningful, and deeply worth fighting for. Their every thought, every hope, and every emotion seems to circle back to you. You remain the center of their world, the person who brought warmth into places of their heart that had long grown cold. In their eyes, you represent far more than a partner. You are the other half of their soul. From the very beginning, they saw something extraordinary in you, a kind of harmony that made everything feel balanced and right. You seemed to complement them in every possible way, filling the spaces they never even realized were empty. Where they felt weak, you were strong. Where they were uncertain, you offered clarity. To them, you weren't just someone who entered their life, you became a mirror reflecting the best version of themselves. From your first conversations to your quiet moments together, they felt an undeniable connection, something that transcended the ordinary boundaries of attraction. It felt destined, as though you were two souls that had been searching for each other all along. Yet, to truly understand your partner's current resolve, it's important to acknowledge the emotional landscape they carried before meeting you. Their journey was far from easy. Before your paths crossed, they had endured deep heartbreaks and emotional disappointments that left scars far beneath the surface. Those experiences taught them painful lessons about love, trust, and vulnerability. They had given their heart to people who didn't value it, and each failed relationship left them a little more guarded, a little more wary of letting anyone get too close again. The emotional pain they experienced wasn't something that disappeared easily. It lingered, shaping how they viewed love and what they believed they deserved. By the time you came into their life, they were still healing, though perhaps they didn't fully realize it. They wanted to love, to trust, to open up, but the walls around their heart had grown tall and thick. These defenses were built not out of pride or selfishness, but out of self-preservation. Deep down, they were terrified of being hurt again. The mere thought of vulnerability, of letting someone truly see their heart, felt like an invitation for history to repeat itself. So, when they first began a relationship with you, they were cautious, hesitant. Their heart was divided between desire and fear, wanting to leap forward but afraid of what might happen if they did. Their hesitancy was never about you. It wasn't a reflection of your worth or their feelings. It was a reflection of their wounds. Their reluctance was a way to protect themselves from the pain of another potential loss. At times, that guardedness may have seemed confusing, maybe even frustrating. You may have wondered why they seemed distant when their words said otherwise. But behind that hesitation was a person desperately trying to learn how to trust again. They needed to be sure that this time, love would not end in heartbreak. As the relationship grew, your partner found themselves in a quiet internal battle. Part of them wanted to run towards you, to surrender fully to the feelings that were blossoming. The other part, the one shaped by old pain, urged them to hold back. They found themselves oscillating between deep affection and self-protection, unsure how to balance the two. But something about you began to change that. The longer they knew you, the more they began to see your consistency, your patience, your sincerity. You didn't just tell them you cared, you showed them. Through your small acts of kindness, your understanding tone, and your willingness to listen, you gave them something they hadn't felt in a long time: safety. For someone who had lived with emotional armor for years, that feeling of safety was life-changing. Slowly, piece by piece, you chipped away at their walls. You proved through your actions that you were not like those who had hurt them before. Your love wasn't reckless or manipulative, it was gentle, steady, and real. You didn't demand that they change overnight. You allowed them the space to grow, to learn how to trust again, to open up at their own pace. This patience became a quiet but powerful force of healing. Over time, they began to understand that you were not only trustworthy but also someone who deeply valued the sanctity of love and partnership. You weren't looking for something temporary or superficial, you were willing to put in the effort to build something meaningful. That realization marked a turning point in their heart. They began to see that love didn't have to be painful. It didn't have to be a battlefield of disappointment and fear. With you, love could be a place of refuge, a space where two people could bring out the best in each other rather than reopen old wounds. As they continued to let you in, something profound began to happen. They discovered that where they felt broken, you brought healing. Where they struggled, you offered guidance and support. You became their strength when they faltered, their peace when life felt chaotic. They started to recognize that your presence didn't just make them happy, it made them whole. You didn't complete them in the sense of filling an emptiness, but rather you enhanced them, amplifying their light and softening their shadows. You became a reflection of what true partnership could look like, balanced, mutual, and filled with respect. The more time they spent with you, the more their affection deepened. They realized that your love wasn't a fleeting emotion, it was a commitment, a choice you made daily through your actions. That understanding moved them deeply. It inspired them to be better, to grow, to shed the fears that had long held them back. They began to see themselves differently, to believe that they were capable of love without losing themselves in the process. In your eyes, they saw possibility, forgiveness, and a kind of hope they thought they had lost forever. This transformation didn't happen overnight, but each shared laugh, every heartfelt conversation, and even the difficult moments contributed to it. With every step, they came to understand that real love isn't about perfection, it's about persistence, compassion, and the willingness to rebuild when things fall apart. You showed them that love is a partnership, not a performance. And that realization planted the seeds for their current determination. Now, standing at this crossroads, your partner has made a decision. They no longer want to let fear dictate their actions. They no longer want the ghosts of their past to hold power over the future they dream of with you. They have spent enough time reflecting, regretting, and understanding what truly matters, and all roads lead back to you. They are ready to take the next step, ready to reach out and mend what may have been broken. In their heart, they carry a deep awareness that they may have hurt you through their hesitation or emotional distance. They recognize that their guardedness may have caused you pain, made you question their sincerity, or even made you feel unloved. Those realizations weigh heavily on them. Yet, instead of retreating into guilt or denial, they are now channeling those feelings into a genuine desire to make amends. They want to show you, through both words and actions, that they have changed. Their next move will likely come from a place of vulnerability. They may reach out with heartfelt messages, pouring their emotions into every word. They may ask for forgiveness, not as a formality, but as a sincere plea for another chance. They want to prove that this time, their love isn't hindered by fear. This time, they are ready to meet you fully, with open arms and an open heart. They understand that words alone cannot erase the past, but they hope their consistency and effort will begin to rebuild the trust that was once shaken. What drives them now is not desperation, but clarity. They have realized that you are the person they want to share their life with, the one who understands them at their core. They see you not just as a romantic partner, but as a teammate, a confidant, a best friend. They are no longer interested in what-ifs or temporary connections. They want something lasting, something real, something that stands the test of time. This time, they are approaching the relationship with a renewed sense of purpose and emotional maturity. They have done the inner work to confront their fears, to acknowledge their mistakes, and to heal from old wounds. They are not the same person who once hesitated to love freely. They are stronger, more self-aware, and more determined to nurture the love they nearly lost. Their heart has learned the value of vulnerability, the beauty of forgiveness, and the peace that comes with choosing love despite the risks. Your partner's determination to rebuild this relationship stems from a deep understanding of what you mean to them. You have shown them patience when they were uncertain, compassion when they struggled, and faith when they doubted themselves. They now recognize that love like yours doesn't come around often. They've come to understand that being with you isn't about avoiding pain, it's about growing together through it. You are their home, their safe haven, the person who brings calm to their chaos. They are ready to move forward with honesty and transparency, to communicate openly and lovingly, and to prioritize the connection that binds you together. They want to create new memories with you, ones built on mutual understanding and emotional growth. They see a future where both of you continue to learn from each other, to challenge one another in healthy ways, and to build a foundation that can withstand the tests of time. Most importantly, your partner is ready to love without reservation. They no longer want to hold back or let fear dictate their choices. They understand that love requires courage, the courage to be seen, to be vulnerable, and to take the risk of being hurt in order to experience something truly beautiful. This time, they are choosing courage. They are choosing you. Their love for you has matured into something deeper and more enduring than before. It's no longer based on idealized notions of romance but on the real, sometimes messy, always meaningful work of partnership. They know now that love isn't about never making mistakes, it's about owning them, learning from them, and growing stronger together. And they are ready to do just that. Your partner's heart beats with the hope of reconciliation. They are ready to lay everything on the table, to express what they feel, to listen to what you need, and to rebuild the trust that once wavered. They want to show you that this relationship can not only survive, but thrive. Their greatest wish is to walk forward with you, not as two wounded souls, but as two people who have chosen healing, forgiveness, and love. They are not just fighting for a relationship, they are fighting for a life. A shared life built on trust, laughter, passion, and the unshakable belief that love, when nurtured, can overcome anything. And in their heart, they know, you are worth every effort, every apology, and every ounce of love they have to give.